Right, I'll make the most of it. I got a question through asking me, how do I present a new pup into a pack of dogs at the house with the hierarchy that's already been formed? So good question. Everybody does it differently. I'll be honest, if I only have a couple of dogs in the house, because obviously there's lots of kids, lots of activity. If I bring in a new dog, I'll make sure that the pup gets a positive experience. I don't want an over-dominating dog or bitch to boss the little pup around. Even if he's sure of himself, he's confident, you don't want to break that confidence. I remember years ago I was up at Robert Booth's place, who was the very well-known terrier man, the Patterdale man. And I was over at Rob's, and I remember a pup coming out, and a very pugnacious male jumped on the pup and squeaking, and we quickly sort of split it up. He was just, being overzealous and dominating too much. So we split it up, and I remember Rob saying to me, right, just ignore it, just pretend nothing ever happened. And so the dog was obviously a little bit shocked, and he's looking around to see what happened, and then he sees we're carrying on our conversation, and he shook himself down and he came over and he seemed to forget about it. So you've got to be very careful with bad experiences early on with pups. Same as when you've got a new pup and you're out and about and people like presenting their dogs. No, he's fine with pups, and they present their dogs to the pup. You don't want a bad experience, because you want positive experiences. You want to be building confidence. Even though the little Stafford pups seem to be bursting with confidence, you want them to grow with confidence, know that they can count on people. Everything's got to be, again, positive experience in the house. So that's the way I do it. And what I never do is leave the pup alone with the older dogs when I'm not there. Obviously, if you've got a multi-dog household, I always use cages. So you've got cages and everybody gets shut away. And if you've got, if any doubts, make sure that, one of the dogs isn't in the same room as the little dog. You just don't want to be tempting fate. So again, know your dogs, make sure it's positive. Do not put too much trust in your dogs, like leaving them alone, or I'm just going to pop next door to have a cup of coffee with somebody. No. Just make sure that everything's on your side, because dogs, when they're teaching manners to a younger pup, it's sometimes they go a little bit over the top, and the worst thing you can do is break the confidence of a young pup, because then that takes it can leave sort of mental scars that can be dealt with. I remember having a young dog years ago that was attacked by a big black Labrador. Okay, big black Labrador obviously saw it was a pup, dominated him, and when he grew up, he had a deep-seated hatred for black Labradors. So that's a quick way of answering. When I bring in a new pup, I make sure that everything is prepared. I take time with the dog, make sure that the presentations are done right, get them out on a walk together, so the bigger ones are out doing their thing and the little one sort of finds his feet. And like I say, it's common sense, and do not ever leave them together unattended when you're not there. All right, that was another quick one. Right, I'm going to drop back down into town now because I've got a few things to do.